Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Golden State Warriors are looking to sign a new star and build a strong team that can revive their NBA dynasty. The Warriors will benefit if they can bring in Nikola Vucevic. The pivot has size and is still a great scorer. The Golden State Warriors had a disappointing start to the season, but they have been one of the hottest teams in the NBA since the trade deadline. Golden State found themselves needing to make a major change to their roster at the trade deadline as they were barely holding on to the final play-in spot. They then made the blockbuster deal for Jimmy Butler, which has completely changed their season as they currently sit 7th in the Western Conference standings with a 32-27. With their new star duo of Stephen Curry and Butler, the Warriors look like they are going to be a title contender this season, but they could also make some moves in the offseason to improve their title odds for next season. Bleacher Report's Zach Buckley recently gave 3 players the Warriors could target in the offseason to extend their dynasty. While Golden State's deadline deal for Jimmy Butler helped cover the co-star void next to Stephen Curry, it didn't deplete the Dubs' asset collection. That's key, because if the Warriors are convinced the Curry-Butler duo could anchor a title run but their supporting cast underwhelms in the postseason, that might be all the motivation needed for an even bigger blockbuster this summer, Buckley wrote. With Buckley believing that the Warriors could pull off another blockbuster trade in the offseason, the 3 players he named as potential targets for Golden State include Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Durant and Nikola Vucevic. Giannis has been on the Warriors' radar for a while, and if the Milwaukee Bucks have an early playoff exit, the former MVP could ask out in the offseason. If he was to do so, expect Golden State to be a team in on him as he would give them another dominant superstar to chase a title next season. Durant is also a player the Warriors could target, which they already did at the trade deadline. Of course, Durant helped the Warriors win 2 titles during his stint with the team, and the Warriors could reunite with him in the offseason to chase a title next season, especially with it looking like the Phoenix Suns are set to go their separate ways. The other target Buckley named was Vucevic, who the Warriors tried to deal for at the deadline. Vucevic would give the Warriors a much-needed big man who would fit perfectly next to Curry and Butler, thanks to his offensive prowess and size. Of course, the Warriors may keep their current roster intact in the offseason, but all 3 of the trade targets Buckley named would make them an immediate title contender next season. Bold Quinton Post decision inspires Stephen Curry and Warriors to 5 straight. Steph was well and truly cookin'. There's nothing like a flurry from Stephen Curry, and that's just what the 2x MVP delivered in pushing the Golden State Warriors to a 5th straight win with a 121-115 victory over the Orlando Magic on Thursday night. Curry had a season-high 12 threes and 56 points, leading the Warriors to a come-from-behind win after trailing by as much as 17 in the first half at Kia Center. The 36-year-old gave the visitors some momentum with an extraordinary halftime buzzer beater from beyond half-court to reduce the margin to 12, with that carrying over to a 40-21 third quarter that changed the complexion of the game. Stephen Curry and Quinton Post changed the game for the Warriors. While Curry was simply spectacular, it was Steve Kerr's decision to start Quinton Post in the second half that also provided game-changing impact. The rookie center immediately had 10 points in the first 3 minutes of the third, and perhaps more importantly allowed Golden State to match up with Orlando's size, which had proved problematic in the first half. Post had 16 points in the second half and finished as a game-high plus 22, having shot 7 of 9 from the floor and 2 of 4 from three-point range. Make no mistake that this was Curry's game though, with the 11x All-Star producing a virtuoso performance on a night where others struggled to get going. Curry finished 16 of 25 from the floor and 12 of 19 from beyond the arc, while also recording 4 rebounds, 3 steals and 2 steals in a 56-point masterclass against the second-best defense in the NBA. Jimmy Butler was uncharacteristically quiet in his 32 minutes, making just 1 field goal from 7 attempts and finishing with 5 points, 4 rebounds and 7 assists. Brandon Podziemski also struggled in shooting 3 of 12 from the floor, though the second-year guard did also add 4 rebounds and 7 assists. Draymond Green had a double-double with 12 points and 10 rebounds in just under 32 minutes, with he and Moses Moody, 10, the only two players outside Curry and Post to record double digits in scoring. Paolo Banchero was matching Curry in the first half as the Magic took control, yet the former number 1 overall pick cooled off just enough for the Warriors to take advantage. Banchero still had 41 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, while fellow young star, Franz Wagner, added 27. Golden State shot 45.6% from the floor and 42.2% from three-point range, but it was again their ability to get to the free throw line that provided the difference. They went 30 of 34 from the charity stripe, compared to 14 of 18 from the Magic. Warriors coach Steve Kerr's reaction to Stephen Curry's scoring outburst is pure gold. Don't take these Stephen Curry moments for granted. When Steve Kerr agreed to become the head coach of the Golden State Warriors on May 14, 2014, there was no way he could possibly know what was to come over the next decade. Yes, the allure of coaching a player as talented and as special as Stephen Curry certainly played a huge role in why Kerr accepted the job, but by no means was it a sure thing that Curry accomplished this much. Even though Stephen Curry is one of the most accomplished players in the history of the NBA, his legacy won't be defined by the 4 NBA championships, the pair of MVPs or the 3,969, and counting, three-pointers. It will be defined by the moments. The performances. The nights where he proved that he's arguably the greatest show in all of sports. On Thursday night in Orlando, it was another one of those nights. Curry hit 12 three-pointers and erupted for 56 points in a 121-115 win over the Magic. It was Curry's 14th career 50-point game and the 26th game in which he made at least 10 treys. But even though Kerr has been on the sideline for most of those performances, he says that watching a Curry performance such as this one never gets old. It never gets old watching. Warriors HC Steve Kerr is still in awe of Steph after his 56-point night. We're spoiled around here, and we're used to it, but it never gets old watching, Kerr said after the game. I think the fans here tonight, even the Magic fans, they know they're witnessing the greatest shooter ever, and one of the greatest performers ever. It's not just the shots going in, it's the fluidity, the beauty of his movement and motion, and his audacity, the shots that he's willing to take. He's an incredible performer, and he put on quite a show tonight. The Warriors have now won 6 of their last 7 games, seemingly revitalized by the trade that netted them a motivated Jimmy Butler. The Moses Moody era is slowly coming into view. I'm feeling moody. The signs were always there, Dub Nation. That smooth release. The defensive instincts. The basketball IQ that made Bob Myers smirk on draft night when Moody somehow fell to us at 14th. But basketball development isn't linear, it's a maze full of dead ends, shortcuts, and unexpected breakthroughs. Moses Moody is having his breakthrough moment right now, and it's been absolutely beautiful to witness. The most impressive thing about Moody's emergence? It's not just that he's playing well, it's how he's doing it. The man has stopped overthinking and started just hooping. After years spent bouncing between the rotation and Steve Kerr's doghouse, which should honestly have its own zip code considering how many young Warriors have resided there, Moody has discovered the perfect formula, slowing down to speed up. Part of that learning process was slowing down, doing a little bit less, and fitting in with the situation, Moody explained after looking unstoppable against Charlotte. I've been playing some of the best basketball that I've played. That's the understatement of the century. As a starter this season, Moody is averaging 12.7 points with actual efficiency rather than the "I'm pressing because I might get benched tomorrow" shot selection we've seen in previous seasons. The game has slowed down for him, which paradoxically has allowed him to play faster. What's changed? Let's break it down. 1. Mental approach. instead of getting demoralized when demoted from the rotation, which has happened more times than I care to count, he's put his head down and focused on technical improvement. That resilience has Warriors DNA written all over it. 2. Shot selection. Remember the rushed contested mid-range jumpers that made us all scream at our TVs? Gone. Replaced by corner threes, decisive drives, and cuts that make defensive rotations look like toddlers playing musical chairs. 3. Defensive consistency. He's always had the tools, but now he's deploying them with the confidence of someone who knows he belongs on the floor. The Jimmy Butler acquisition has understandably dominated headlines, but Moody's development alongside Brandon Podziemski has transformed our rotation from Stephen Prey to something resembling the depth that made the 2022 championship run possible. What's most encouraging is how Moody described his journey. I think it has been a process. My NBA journey is like any other journey. Over the year, there were different reasons why I got out of the rotation. Whatever it is, instead, I put my head down and try to figure out what that is and what I can do. That's not just basketball growth, that's life growth. And it's exactly why the Warriors drafted him. Look, the Warriors' resurgence has multiple authors. Jimmy Butler's arrival changed our defensive identity. Steph is doing Steph things, 56 points against Orlando? Just another Thursday, apparently. But Moody's evolution from theoretical 3-and-D with upside to actual productive two-way force might be the most sustainable development for our future. So here's to Moses Moody, the guy who keeps getting knocked down but refuses to stay there. The Warriors' recent 7-1 surge isn't just about adding Butler, it's about the internal improvement that defines championship organizations. And the best part? He's just getting started. The Moody era has officially begun.